actually carried out geophysical survey in so many states in the country.
Politically, in 1987, that was when we do what you now call the zero-party election.
The things you use to earn money are there. It's just for you to know how to think of developing them.
Representing the people is you being a trustee of dividend of democracy to the people. The people are the beneficiaries.
The state now, the environment is quite friendly. The foundation has been laid for even foreign investors, other investors within the Nigerian economy to come in.
Deltascope, it's a weekly magazine program that profiles the good works of some leaders, political leaders, social leaders who have contributed their own quota to the development of Delta State. Today on our personality program, our media crew met and interacted with a very interesting personality. He is a certified engineer, a politician, and a legislator. This will actually be his third victorious primaries and probably his third term at the Delta State House of Assembly, representing the good people of Aniocha North constituency. You know, he has given robust representation and tangible benefits to the people he represents. We are talking about Honorable Engineer Emeka Nwaobi. Let's meet him and hear what he has for us today. We want to congratulate you on your recent victory at the PDP's primary at the Delta State House of Assembly. You know, this will be your third victorious primaries and probably your third term that you've been representing the good people of Aniocha constituency. How does that make you feel?
Aniocha North, actually.
Okay.
First, let me say thank you for congratulating me. And like you rightly said, this is the third time consecutively that I'm winning the primary election to represent Aniocha North State constituency. And I feel glad, I feel happy about that. And I think it's a testimony of the fact that the people believe I have represented them very well, you know, in the first and second tenure. That's why they're giving me the mandate again to represent them. So I feel happy about that.
Back to memory lane, your primary school, your secondary school, you went through Ubuluku, Iseluku, and of course you went through the science of technology where you had your BSc.
Okay, I actually went to Adams Primary School, Iseluku, and proceeded from there to Pilgrim Baptist Grammar School, Iseluku. And a few years later, I left Pilgrim Baptist Grammar School and went to St. Anthony's College, where I completed my secondary education. And thereafter, got admission into the prestigious Enugu State University of Science and Technology, where I studied civil engineering and graduated. I also did my master's in the same school, and I'm also running my PhD there at the moment.
What was the experience like in and out the tertiary institution?
The experience in the school is quite different from that outside the school, you know. At the time, as a student, of course, I was focused on working hard to see that I graduated, you know, to become an engineer. You know, as a student, I was looking forward to, you know, that time when I'll become engineer and be practicing in the field. So I worked hard to ensure that I made that happen, and it did happen. And of course, after graduation, I came out and set up my own engineering firm, where I practiced for many years. Of course, I was known across Delta State. I mean, there's hardly any region in Delta State where I haven't worked as an engineer, and of course across the country as well. I've done quite a lot of jobs, you know, in so many other states. So I was practicing until I decided to give a shot to the election, you know, that led me into the office where I am today. However, even as a member, you know, I haven't still left my profession because it's one that I love so much. So in case you have anything you want me to do for you, yeah, fine. We can always do a design for you and build whatever you want us to build for you because it gives me joy. That's my profession. So while I still do my politics, I still remember my profession as well.
Not every individual who studied engineering in school has that name, that bold capital name, engineer, before.
Actually, the
What
fact
was the
that you
process?
study engineering does not actually qualify you to use the prefix engineer.
Okay.
The way it works is that after graduation, you are meant to work in a qualified engineering firm for a certain number of years before you are qualified to write an exam. You write an exam, current exam, which of course, it's only when you pass that exam that you can use the prefix engineer before your name. So the fact that you read engineering does not automatically qualify you to use that prefix engineer, no.
Okay, you say you've given your people robust representation.
Sure.
What are the tangible things you say you've done for the people of Anyochana?
Basically, as a legislator, our primary assignment is lawmaking and performing oversight function and representation, as it were. And in terms of lawmaking as a house, the house has been very vibrant, and I'm one of the strong voices in the house. If you are following our proceedings, you will agree with me that I'm one of the strong voices that Deltans, hear from in the house. And the house, as an institution, has done creditably well. I was in the 6th Assembly, today I'm in the 7th Assembly, so I can testify to the fact that, Delta State House of Assembly is one of the most vibrant houses of assembly in Nigeria. In fact, we are nicknamed the most vibrant house of assembly in Nigeria. So I am happy to belong to that institution, and based on that, I can tell you that we're doing very well.
Let's look at your scorecard within the 7 years.
Sure.
And you're also regarded as one of a vibrant member at the Delta State House of Assembly. Sure. Let's look at what you have, the motions you have passed and what you have been able to bring to the floor.
In terms of motion, I've done quite a lot, and I think I'll put on table that one of the motions I moved in the House, which I consider one of my best in terms of how it affected the people, was when I moved the motion on the floor of the House calling on His Excellency the Governor, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi to set up a team, to monitor the invasion of Fulani herdsmen in Delta State, and by the grace of God, after that motion gave birth to Delta Hawk, which since inception, has done creditably well. And I'm sure that today, we no longer hear about kidnapping. I would say it has drastically reduced, if not completely eradicated in Delta State. So that's one of my motions that, I am happy about, and the people are also very happy about that.
You're talking about projects you've handled.
Talking about projects, I come from a constituency that has 18 communities. And recently, when I went to declare my intention to run for the 3rd term, I said it openly. I've said it in different fora, and I stand to be challenged. I have worked in all the 18 communities. It's unprecedented. I think I am the first person representing that constituency who has been able to, in 6 years, touch all the communities with 1 or 2 different projects. So in terms of that, I'll tell you that I have done very well in terms of that, reaching out to all the communities that I represent in just 6 years. So there is no single community in my constituency that has not felt my impact, and I say it everywhere, I say it openly, and I stand to be challenged. I have said it in public. I say, tell me where you come from, and I will tell you what I have done for the people. So I am bold saying that, and I am happy that I am able to achieve that.
Actually carried out geophysical survey in so many states in the country.
Politically, in 1987, that was when we do what you now call the zero-party election.
The things you use to earn money are there. It's just for you to know how to think of developing them.
Representing the people is you being a trustee of dividend of democracy to the people. The people are the beneficiaries.
The state now, the environment is quite friendly. The foundation has been laid for even foreign investors, other investors within the Nigerian economy to come in.
Play host to some of our social, economic, and political leaders, their achievements, their involvement, and of course their works to the development of Delta State and Nigeria at large. My name is Isioma Adigwe. Welcome to the biggest personality television program, Deltascope. As a seasoned legislator, back to the public education then, which will you say you were a beneficiary?
Well, basically, I think I benefited from the public education because my primary school was a public school.
Okay.
I also attended the two secondary schools I attended. None of them was private, both public secondary schools and university as well.
Yeah.
Not a private one. So I think I am a total product of public institutions in terms of education.
The people of Anyocha North describe Honorable Emeka Nwaobi as a core philanthropist, you know, and we've heard series of stories as regards that. We would like to hear the projects which you've engaged them in, stories behind it, and the experience being regarded as such.
Well, to be called a philanthropist does not necessarily emanate from projects you have done. You know, I have a charity scheme that I operate very silently. Actually, I don't even play politics with it. And I think that is one of the reasons why people regard me as a philanthropist. I tell you something, since I came into the office, I actually donated my salary to feed indigent persons in my constituency. And that has been on from the one that I came into till today. You know, and I know that the beneficiaries of this my salary, you know, all of them pray for me. They all feel good. They're all out there, you know, speaking good about me. That is to say, you know, there are so many other persons, you know, that I have actually impacted in. A lot of them call you for school fees, some people come for hospital bills, burial, this and that. And then, you know, we try to do the much our capacity can carry us. And I know that in my own little way, I have been able to affect quite a number of them in terms of, you know, assisting people. So I wouldn't be surprised if anybody or if people say that he's a philanthropist. So by the grace of God, I try to do the little I can to assist people from the resources available to me.
What do we expect from Honorable Emeka Nwaobi? You know, the primaries has just happened and our expectations are more come 2023 election.
Sure.
What do we expect from you?
Well, the expectation is that having secured the mandate of the people once again, it is like a challenge that you need to do more. So I'll strive to do more than I have done in the past. You know, coming back as a third term member in the House is no joke. You know, so first of all, I am going to, by the grace of God, because I'm believing that by His grace we will all win our elections, the general election. So if that happens, I'm going to be one of the oldest members in the House.
Oh, really?
Yes, of course. To come to do a third term is no joke. Obviously, yes, I will have maybe one or two, given, you know, judging from my colleagues who secured the mandate as well to represent the constituencies amongst the members of the 7th Assembly. So if all of us who secured mandates from our various constituencies come back, yes, I'm going to be one of the oldest members. And as one of the oldest members, obviously, the ones who are coming in newly are going to be looking up to us, to learn the business of the legislature from us. So I am actually positioning myself knowing that, yes, I have got some new colleagues coming in that we need to lecture on how this thing works. And particularly how we do it that make people judge us as one of the most vibrant houses in Nigeria.
So lastly, during this process, you've been a legislator, a politician, usually there might be hitches along the way in you actualizing your set goals in this capacity which you operate. Has there been any hitches so far?
Obviously, of course, in life,
we would like to know
nothing really comes easy. Okay. There are hitches, obviously, particularly as it affects finances. You and I know that the economy of Nigeria has collapsed. So everything has actually changed. The pressure on us is, times 10 what our predecessors experienced. Largely because PDP is no longer at the center. So everybody looks up to us here at the state level. When we were at the center, of course, you could see this pressure being split. Some people go to Abuja, while some are at the state level. But today, because we're not at the center, the whole pressure is on us at the state level. So that's actually challenging. Particularly at a time like this when the economy has almost totally collapsed. Looking at people in government from outside, usually people think, oh, these are people in government, they are the ones eating money, there's a tree where they pluck money and all of that. But it is not exactly the way they see it from the outside. We are not finding it easy. To be in government at a time like this, when the economy has gone so bad. Of course, you and I know today as it stands, very unfortunate that even with ₦1 million, 1 million naira, you're only holding 1,000 and a few fractions of dollars. That is ridiculous. That's crazy. Before I came into the house, in 2014, 2015, with 1 million naira, I could change and have up to $6,000 to $7,000. Today, 1 million naira gives you only about $1,000 plus a little fraction. So that is actually a big problem because everything in Nigeria is driven by the dollar. Every single thing, every single product. The cloth you wear today has a dollar effect. Do you understand me? Because if it was imported, the man who imports it adds up the cost of importation, clearing, and all of that in dollars, converts it to naira before he sells to you. So you can imagine the impact of dollar rising on any other thing that one does. So it's actually unfortunate that we find ourselves where we are today. And that's why we're campaigning vigorously. That's why we're calling on Nigerians to support PDP so that we go back to the center and change the narratives. A lot of things have gone wrong. The economy has collapsed. Nigerians are almost becoming hopeless. But we want to believe that by the grace of God, if PDP comes back to power in 2023, there will be a drastic turnaround for better and for the benefit of Nigerians.
Okay, sir, you are a seasoned engineer,
Sure.
a legislator,
Sure.
a politician.
Sure.
Let's look at the home front.
Well, I have one of the prettiest ladies in the world as my wife. Someone I love so much, and I've got my kids as well who love us and we love them, So just like any other family, we're cool. We're living our cool lives. Yeah.
And wish you luck, sir.
Thank you
in your next, as we await your next victory.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your
God
thoughts with
bless
us. Wow, such a daring personality. You know, Honorable Engineer Emeka Nwaobi's Youth Empowerment Program has been one of its kind in Anyocha North area. And his Youth Empowerment Program has helped develop, establish young persons in different fields of life. For you to be part of our personality program, it's important you follow, subscribe to our different social media platforms right on your screen. On behalf of the producer, the entire production crew, I said thank you for riding with us on this particular edition of Deltascope. My name is Isioma Adigwe. See you next week.